Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. Good afternoon. You are now watching the next round of the Rare Cup Finals. My name is Sergeant Johnny, and I will not be the only caster tonight. I got friends with me. So, Josh, welcome. Welcome to the stream, and thanks for being my partner for the next games.
Pico, Public Yosh reporting for duty. We do cast a bunch of semifinals today. Our first one being Froome and Ähre versus Chilean Heroes. People have already went and said that this will probably just be the final of the Rare Cup, but we've got a little bit of aces up our sleeves further along the road. So
Hey,
far, we do have Froome and Ähre, first place team, Hansi.
yes, the Farum and Ähre are the current number one out of Division 6, and also the red team Chill AF Heroes are also number one spot, but from the Division 7. So we have the winner of the division against the winner of the division. Whew. And so far, it's pretty hard to get through what to ban and what to pick against them because both teams have a really high win rate on, just nearly every single map.
Since Division 7 is supposed to be the weaker one, but every time we prove it's not correct, only for Division 6 people to continue boasting that they are supposedly better. Let's start with Chilev. Those guys have been playing pretty much the same general strategy, even though we do see that their most picked heroes are actually their most banned heroes as well, which is quite interesting. We do have 14 picks of Ana and 13 picks of Cassia, and the bans are pretty much reversed. 14 bans of Cassia against them and 13 bans of Ana against them. So they pretty much know their combos. They do prefer to ban out tanks of their opponents. So the tank of Rumundera might be feeling a little bit of pressure.
Yeah, and let's continue with Fyrom and Ähre. They also got pretty decent heroes. The red team has to look out for, especially the tanks, as you said, from Sergeant Hater. He is just a monster on Imperius, and in the last games you already saw he is a monster on ETC as well. But the others, you don't have to forget about them. Maiev in the previous games were also very terrifying. And let's start into the map draft, I would say. We already have, as you can see, banned out for the blue team's side Infernal Shrines and, of course, Volskaya Foundry. For the red team, the bans are Tomb of the Spider Queens and Alterac Pass.
And Towers of Doom are the maps that we are actually gonna end up with, which is quite interesting. I don't think that teams in Rare Cup prioritize Towers of Doom, preferring to pick a little bit more conventional maps such as Infernal Shrine, such as Cursed Hollow, and Volsky Foundry is also in there, but most of those are banned, and we are ending up with Towers of Doom. A map that notoriously you can't really lose unless you make a mistake. You can pretty much indefinitely hold on, you just have to continue winning fights and continue holding the objectives correctly. And I'm quite interested to see which team can execute that better. We also have a little bit of an interesting offlane dynamic with a lot of double soaking usually involved with the teams.
Yeah, definitely. Talking about double soaking, we already saw Chasm and his Malthael, so that could be a potential pick for that map to soak mid and top lane, but there are plenty of other heroes that can do the job as well. And Towers of Doom is just the map with the most insane comebacks. You just have to win one team fight and you absolutely can turn this match upside down. And here we go. We jump into our first game, Towers of Doom.
Well, I'm pretty sure that ETC is going to be pretty much the first ban away from Chile of Heroes, because you don't really want to give Sergeant Hater his ETC after the mosh pits that he was able to provide in the quarterfinal and throughout the season as well. What are some focuses that Farum and Air would be able to bring?
I guess they definitely, as you said, are looking either for ETC or Imperius, but also I guess Malthael could be an option, but never forget the Maiev. That's also very, very terrifying. We saw in the previous season so many deathly cages on the ground, and yeah, that's something the red team has to look out for.
Well, so far we do have a rather solid start, a rather chill start, I would even say. Ana being banned out, which is quite classic. It is a solid hero that Chile F heroes usually go for, but they also have the Malfurion as their third most picked hero, presumably because people ban out Ana so much against them. And that's a Samuro ban. That's not exactly a hero that I know people play often. Do they actually have history with him?
Yes, they actually do. TK3, as known as Korai, he is a very good Samuro player, and he very, very likes to play Samuro, so that was a target ban indeed. And the next ban for the blue team is coming through, and they're going to ban out another healer, Furion.
Ooh, that's
The old
interesting.
man is gone.
Okay, I don't actually know what's the third healer for Chile F is supposed to be, but let's find out together. That's interesting because usually people do not ban out both of the healers. Although let's try and figure out what they prefer as their third heal.
Okay.
To me, it looks like it might be an Oriole. There are three Oriole picks, two Anduin picks, and even a Lily among the heroes that they have played throughout the season. So the healer pool might have been a little bit dried up.
Yes. And for now, I'm a little bit surprised, first, that the blue team did not ban out ETC or Imperius, as we already discussed. And also, the blue team, Sergeant Hater, was not going first pick on both of those. Instead, we see Cassia for Soft Ice. And now, the first two picks for the red team, we got Li Ming. Ana not available, so no Nano Boost right here, but we got Garrosh together with her.
And I like the strategy that Furum and Ähre are going for so far. They just aggressively trying to chip away at the hero pool of Chile F heroes. It might be not as deep as the guys in red have thought it would be, because right now we do have the Cassia taken away. We do have both healers that they actually go for usually banned out, and Imperius with Maiev, just a solid combination. As you have said, they can set up some very amazing combos, very amazing peacocks, both single target and team-wide. And I don't think Gersh can be enough to deal with it.
Yeah, I definitely agree with you. The blue team is a team that goes in and just want to wipe everyone out of their way. And guys, just for you, you can bet during the draft for either team you want to give your points who's the team you want to win. And now we got even another healer. So Stukov was banned against the blue team, and they go with Deckard and with Sylvanas, and now the blue team with 4 healers banned and 1 already picked. That's the question now. What healers are left, Josh?
Well, Deckard is actually picked first time by Chile F heroes, so that's already somewhat spicy. We do have Diva picked, we do have Brightwing as our last pick, which is quite interesting, although I can see the thinking behind it. You do have the polymorph, you do have some global pressure with your blink, so you can just blink around the fight and try and help someone else. You also can provide the Emerald Wind, which has been a solid disengage option for a while, or with level 20 even give heroes some stealth with the blink kill if you go for the other ultimate. Leoric is going to be our last choice, a very conventional offlaner, a very classic offlaner for Towers of Doom. Once again, people very much like to double soak on this map, and Leoric definitely can do that, especially after level 4.
Well, both teams with good drafts so far, and We're about to get into the loading screen. And the bet counts so far is very equal. So 50 to 50, as I can see right now, or it's switching a little bit to the side of the blue team. And Josh, just tell me, what do you think? Who is going to win that round?
Well, it's going to be very interesting because on one hand, we do see that Farum and Ähre actually got the combinations that they wanted. A lot of engage, a lot of just get in there and obliterate your opponents. On the other hand, for Chile AF heroes, we do have Garrosh who's trying to look for single target picks. We do have Leoric who works very well if the enemy team over engages. You just set up an Entomb and you punish your opponents. We do have a Deckard with a solid disengage, and we do have Limin with Sylvanas. Both of them very elusive targets in the backline who can also interrupt, who can also delay the objective for all eternity. So I think I might actually go with Chile F Heroes on this one.
Okay, then I will go with the blue team. Not because I saw what they can do with the heroes they picked, but yeah, as you said, you can't count out the red team. Not because what they already did in the previous games today, but also, as you said, Garrosh, throw, taunt, and then a nicely main combo can blow up a single target, easy peasy. So we are still in the loading screen, but there may be someone. No,
While we are loading in, time to get looking at the most important stat that I'm looking for as the rare, usual rare divisions caster, which unfortunately you will not be able to see because production in Heroes Launch does not work that way. But Portrait Synergy is definitely on the side of Chile F Heroes there with 5 right-wing Carbot portraits. We did see that Farum they tried to go for a Carbot theme, but one of those portraits is definitely not Carbot related at all, which is quite unfortunate and will make me give the edge to the Division 17 on this one. Very important, I know.
I was just about to say we are in match number 1, but unfortunately we got some technical issues and therefore a quick pause. So a quick, just a few minutes when the players are fixing the issues straight away, and then we can re-enter the game. But I don't think that will take too much, and yeah, the next game will be on that channel as well, and after this game, don't go anywhere.
While the pause is happening, let me give you a word from our sponsor, Raid Shadow Writer. Wait, no, he changed his channel name. Oh, well, I guess let's go with the basics. We do have signups for our next season open at Heroes Lounge GG. You can sign up. You can sign up as a free agent to get matched up with 4 other free agents and make a team. That way, you can sign up with the teams that you have, or even with a partial team, to get your team filled up to full with the free agents that we will have. It is a bit of good fun, even if you are not doing well. Speaking from the position of a player who plays for one of the worst teams in launch ever, and if you, it is sometimes casted even, and if you do well, you actually get to the playoff day and get to fight for the trophies made out of the highest quality plastics that launch can provide.
Yes, indeed, and it's the next season is season number 14, so pretty long history for the Heroes Lounge. And Josh, are you participating in the next season in one of those teams?
I don't know. Let's figure it out. My team has actually decided to take a break after our less than stellar results this season, previous season, the season before that, and all of the season before that. But let's not talk about it. Anyway,
Okay.
we do have a little bit of joking around in the lobby, which is quite nice. Love to see teams having high morale and keeping their head high, even if the start is delayed, and that will unfortunately leave a little bit of a mark on the general enjoyment of the players of the stream as well, which is quite unfortunate. Anyway, I believe we do have people reconnecting, and Imperius seems to be back actually, so we can start in soon PM at least.
Yeah, just as you said it, that Imperius might re-enter the game. Just has lost his connection again, but yeah, I guess there will be a restart, but maybe they are quicker back as I thought. And yeah, it seems like we're just about to jump in. Just need the ready from the blue team. And here we go. And it seems like we're heading into
Welcome back.
game number 1, ladies and gentlemen, on Towers of Doom. And to the left side, we got the team of Für Rom und Ähre. We got Brightwing, played by Rösi, TK3 on Diva, Sergeant Hater on Imperius, Chasm on Maiev, and Soft Ice is playing the Cassia.
And on the right, we got the eventual winners of this match because they come from Division 7. Chileaf Heroes, featuring Nightsinger as Leoric, Mr. Alinth playing the Garage, Polinka 666 on Sylvanas, Underdog as Zalimin, and Umo on Deckard. Speaking of underdogs, yeah, Division 6 team usually is supposed to be the weaker one, but you people do not believe me, do you?
What? Division 6 is weaker than 7? Okay.
It always has been.
It always? Okay. Anyway, we got the first Brock straight into the mid lane. TK3 got thrown away, and Brightwing is just teleporting to Diva and the mech and saved this target. And what a brawl for the start of the game.
Bit of early pressure from both teams, which is quite nice. Teams came here to win, came here to fight. We do have a Q on Underdog, who proceeds to blink out right after that happens. A throw from Mr. Alinth. And Sergeant Hater receives a little bit of damage, while Polinka showcases how elusive Sylvanas can be with E with a lot of abilities dedicated to exactly that particular thing, evading enemies' damage.
And in the meantime, we already have 2 medallions popped out for the blue team before the 1 minute mark was reached, and Leo and Diva in the meantime are double soaking between mid and top lane, and for now Leo seems to have an easier time, but I guess TK3 will head up with him in the next few minutes. Blue team is going for the camp on the left side, and
Kazim gets thrown. We do have the triangle on everyone, but unfortunately the blue team just dodges out of it. Kazim continuing to go in. We do have the blink from Brightwing to put Maiev back to full health, and nothing happens as a result of this fight. But we have to point out, when you're picking Garrosh, you're changing the game. Not even for yourself, for your enemies, because Garrosh is so different from what a conventional tank is supposed to be. Just a damage soak who can try to engage and is generally rather harmless if you just ignore the tank and go for the backline instead. But no, Garrosh forces you to play around the Garrosh instead of just trying to negate him as much as possible. You have to stay back, you have to avoid being thrown in, and that's why those early medallions are popped, and that's why those early medallions are so important. Because for the next 4 minutes, we do see that the blue team will be on slightly weaker side in the teamfights.
Definitely. Just the presence of Garrosh forces the blue team back, but we have the first altars coming up. We got one on the upper left side, one on the upper right side, and one down in the middle of the map. And I guess... Ooh, Diva is looking for the upper right side as Brightwing is on the upper left side, and that means that TK3 can... No, he's interrupting Leo.
Teams are actually... teams usually just trade the top ones and fight for the bottom one, but the presence of a Brightwing allows the blue team to just go for the top one and then use the mount ability to go back into the teamfight and force the teamfight there. We do have the Garrosh being quite low, and Polinka 666 not looking great either. The Polymorph comes out on the Garrosh, but the throw on Kazim and the Maiev is looking very unhealthy, but Sylvanas will be the first casualty of the teamfight. And that's how it's going to stand, with Actually, the top ultra is still untaken by Chill AF Heroes as Nightsinger goes for the bottom one instead, just interrupted in time by Soft Ice, who gets thrown in, and the teamfight is not over yet. The Triangle connects with Diva and the Imperius, while Cassia is traded for the Garrus. The mech is finally blown up, and now you have to kill the Diva proper, while Kazim is getting healed back up by the Brightwing.
As you say, no team is going for the upper left altar. They all want to channel the altar in the middle, and they were all so low, and both of the teams don't want to give up on that altar. They really want to fight until they can achieve their points for his team. There's another drag by Chasm, and Underdog on Li Ming is eating a lot of damage, has to retreat. There's another launch connect in from Imperius, but Garrus says, no, get out of here. Not my team, not this time. And yeah.
And those teamfights will just keep going on, because you have to win a teamfight to force the altar on your opponents. We do see that after Sylvanus' death, Chill AF Heroes actually concedes the bottom altar and just takes the top one, because even if you have been fighting for like 5 minutes for that objective, you still only lose 4 HP compared to your opponent, and you still can force a lot of stuff later into the game. You aren't even that back, relatively speaking.
Yes, the blue team now able to steal the camp of Chill AF on the bottom right side away, and are now heading into their own siege camp to send the next pumpkin camp into the bottom lane. And the red team so far are a bit ahead when it comes to experience, but I guess for the next team fights, both teams are up with their level 10 abilities, and Chasm with some nice damage outputs uses the medallion to get away and get not thrown back into the fight. And now the best achievement for the blue team would be to get as much as possible of the mercenaries into the wall.
And once again, those medallions keep getting popped one by one, opening up opportunities for Chill AF Heroes. Unfortunately, as of now, they are on a little bit of a back foot and not exactly able to do the nasty things that they are able to do. But I'm pretty sure that very soon the time will come, and by the time, I mean level 10, because the ultimates will be very huge, will swing the game in a lot of different ways. And we do have another engage from Sergeant Hater. Polinka will just go back, and the engage will not stick, although Kazim going in, both teams having 10 now, and we do have the ultimates on through A picked a little bit earlier. We do see that Mr. Lymph will survive the disengage. Nightsinger on the side, having the Entomb picked, can actually try to force something. We do have the Entomb, we do have the sleep from the Deckard hitting 4, and the teamfight is actually blowing up.
Oh my god, they just go for everyone. So many people are low. The red team finds the first double kill, but the blue team is not done yet. They found a double kill as well. Brightwing and Maiev are down for the blue team, and for the red team it's the frontline Leo and Garrosh.
After all of those ultimates come out from Chill AF Heroes, the one thing that is able to turn over the fight is the 4-man Q from Sergeant Hater. Very well done. And yeah, that was actually a pretty good look into how those teamfights will go, because once again we saw that the blue team is going in, and then the red team tried to set up a flank, tried to go for some plays with their big AoE ultimates. And then basically anything goes, and it just becomes a brawl.
Yeah, and talking about brawl, that's the place where Cassia and Sylvanas feel comfortable to stack up their basement quest. We got the basement stacking quest, but here's a taunt of Garrosh, and the next brawl is heading. Oh my god. Are they even stopping? No, I guess they don't. And Sergeant Hater is just looking for every single opportunity to land one of his spears.
And the funniest part is that the demons, right, don't even need their opponents to straight up die. They just need them to become low, after which Li Ming will just go in and start getting them kills with the Eat build. Just gonna go in, blow people up, Usually people try to go for some very experimental builds in the Rare Cup. This is not one of such cases. The E build has been played for a while and is considered a better one by people who actually know how to play the game. Although in the Rare Cup people still know how to play the game, it's just the decision making is a little bit different. We do have one Soul Altar in the bot lane, and the teamfight is surely heating up for the time being. The ultimate of Maiev and the Entomb are there. Sleep connects with just the D.Va and the Maiev, but that's enough to stop the momentum, but Nightsinger still dies, and that will be the turning point yet again, as Furum and Ähre are going in. Sergeant Hater gonna get thrown in, gonna use the Angelic Covenant to stay alive for the time being, although the Imperius still dies under the magic of Li Ming. Roersi gonna get the channel through, and that's going to be another 4 damage into the core of Chilean Heroes.
Wow, the blue team forces the red team back, and then they found a counter kill and want to get back onto the altar, but they were just a second too late to interrupt the channel, and that's another 4 shots fired onto the core of the red team. And talking about core points, we got 36 to 24, but as I already said, core points are not that important, because the game can shift whenever you find a good ankle and can kill multiple heroes. You can turn this game on his head. There's another chasm, and another combo is missed this time, just slightly. Combo from the red team.
The sleep on 4, that's huge. Actually, Mr. Link trying to find something, trying to find the throw, but nothing comes out. Polinka 666 jumping in, jumping out, trying to provide a little bit of extra damage, but unfortunately it's not enough to secure any picks, and another teamfight goes equal with 0 deaths per side.
You can just see how equal those teams are. Number 1 of Division 6 against number 1 of Division 7, and they're just starting to brawl again. There's another launch to the isolation on Garrosh. Will it be enough? There's a potion on the ground. Garrosh is grabbing up another one. The Abominable had to be used to get away, and he is safe. What an isolation. That could have been a kill.
Well, I hate usually to interrupt my co-casters like that, but let's not make someone too happy in it. The Dihaka is not even in that game, there's no isolation to talk about. Meanwhile, we do have 2 altars up top, and Nightsinger is actually being a little bit caught out. We do have another Q from Sergeant Hater, who's definitely skilling full on into the spear, and that's paying off so far because the Leoric is already done.
The blue team were already able to channel the left altar, and now the battle is on for the right team. We got a 5 against 4 in the favor of
the taunt misses, and the polymorph comes out, the Q on the Gersh, and the mech explosion as well. The sleep on 3 will be good, but it's not good enough, as people are blown by the mech into the cage of Maiev, and that will pretty much kill the the Deckard there. The Entomb is huge, Soft Ice is getting a little bit borked, trying to eat into the action, but the job is done. The altar is taken. That's another 8 into the core of their opponents, and that's going to be the boss for even more.
Yes, and after the boss there will be another additional 4 shots fired onto the core of the red team, and now we're down to 12 points on the core, and we got a triple altar phase for the next altar round, and the blue team can theoretically end the game by picking them up all 3, but I don't think they are able to do that. They're now a whole level ahead, got their level 16 talents together with them, and I just thought they're going for the camp on the upper left side, but they're looking to fight. They want to do something with their talent advantage.
So far it just amounts to a bunch of damage, but the more important part is that they actually clear out the enemy's sapper camp. It's not usually that important, but in this case we do have the towers naked, and you don't want your towers to fall down because it reduces the amount of damage that you can output significantly, and it is one saving grace for the side of Chilean Heroes for the moment, because they have not even lost a structure yet, and that means that they will not receive too much damage even if something goes sour. They will not die quite yet. And extra time is pretty much everything that you're wanting, because you do want to get those levels to get that extra opportunity to find something, to fight for something. Sergeant Hater going in on top of Underdog, who will just blink out and stay alive for the time being. The taunt comes out from the Gears, the sleep will get interrupted instantly. The Maiev cage, and there's a lot of damage, a lot of Q damage from the Imperius, from the Maiev. That's a 3-man wipe, and they aren't stopping now. Sylvanas is dead, and that should be the ace. Yes,
Yes, it is, ladies and gentlemen. This is the 5-man team wipe, and the altars were picked up by both teams on the upper side. And now with a kill on the bottom left bell tower, we got an additional point that got stolen away from the core of the red team. We're down to 3 points, and they would lovely go for the boss to finish the game, but unfortunately it got way much over 2 minutes left to respawn on the map, so the blue team will continue to siege and will take more and more bell towers.
Well, 3 points, less than 4, so the boss will indeed kill them, but it is still more than 0, which means that the red team can continue fighting, and that's exactly what they're trying to do. Maiev is killed, and that looks like an attempt at redemption. They are almost getting there, but Sergeant Hater, another Q, gets thrown in, gets taunted. I don't think they will be able to finish him during the taunt. Angelic Omnant is pressed, but Sergeant Hater, surely he has to die, right? Yes, indeed he does. And that's going to be the end of the engage. A little bit of a desperation fight, a little bit of a what I like to call walking ghost team fight, as the red team is trying to amass the remainders of the resources, the last of what they have, and just throw it into their enemy in an attempt to break the momentum, to try and set up something. But unfortunately, they only have 2 keeps on the map, one of which will get cleared out right now, and the other Ultra Phase is actually quite kind to them, with both Ultras spawning in the bot lane.
The red team, 2 levels behind, are desperately trying to achieve anything. They retake one bell tower after another, but will it be enough? They got 10 seconds left to get down to those altars, and they just have to protect both of them. If the blue team are managed to channel one of them, they are through. And look to the bot lane.
And Cassia is channeling bottom. We do have the taunt. It is a very nice taunt. Kazim is actually losing a lot of HP, but the channel goes through, and it doesn't matter in the slightest. And the Division 7 team loses the first game. I don't like what's happening there.
They just were not able to make it down to Cassia. She was all alone on the bell tower and was just chilling around and was channeling. Wow. Right now we have a quick look to the final damage numbers, as we have this Cassia with 48,000 hero damage for the blue team, but in general it was Li Ming for the red team with over 70,000 damage on the heroes.
Well, it's not just the amount of damage, is it? You also have to, secure the kills. You have to kill targets. And while Li Ming has been trying to do that, unfortunately she was pretty much the only person on her team that was able to execute people. We do see 2 kills on the Leoric, we do see 5 kills on the Li Ming, but that's it! And their opponents have 5 kills on the Imperius, 3 kills on the Maiev, 2 kills on the Cassia, and that's just a lot of coordination issues. We do see that the team in blue just keeps walking out on the slivers of HP throughout the game. And unfortunately, the absolutely massive amount of damage that Underdog was able to put out throughout this game did not matter that much as the coordinated pressure that Forum and Ähre were able to provide.
And in the meantime, the red team, as the losers, were able to either decide to go for the map pick or the first pick, and they decided to go for the first pick, so it's the blue team decision what map to pick up next. I do remember the blue team very likes to play on Braxis, and Braxis, as you can see in just a few seconds on the board, is not banned out so far, so could be a potential pick for the blue team.
We do have first pick chosen by Chileaf Heroes, which does mean that Furumundera will indeed try to find the map that they like the most. And usually, first pick just means that you want to pick up the best heroes that you're able to pick, that your opponent allows you to pick. And it means that you don't really care about having a specific strategy that you can bring up. Which things that picking up a map can sometimes be beneficial, but sometimes you just want that solid first pick for yourself to make sure that you're picking up that Cassia that was open last time around but was taken on the first pick by Furumundera. And Braxis is indeed going to be the pick for our map number 2.
Nice. The pick with the map pick with the 2 lanes and the biggest Zerg waves is our next pick, where we are heading. And yeah, the blue team so far got 100% win rate on that map out of 4 games they played, and Chill AF Heroes got so far on Braxis 3 games played, but also 100% win rate. So
imagine not having 100% win rate, am I right?
Definitely. One of those 100% win rates will be broken today. So.
Ooh. Well, so far that was quite interesting already, and this one is even more exciting, at least for me, because while Towers of Doom mainly tests how well you are able to teamfight and how well you are able to pressure your opponent throughout the map, Braxis is more about the coordination, and not just the general coordination of your 5-man, but the coordination between the 4-man and the solo lane, because that solo lane interaction is probably the most important one in the pool of maps that we have. And, a good solo laner will never be in the solo lane. The enemy team should not allow a good solo laner to sit in the solo lane. They will try to make it an off lane instead, if you catch my drift. A lot of ganks is what I'm expecting, a lot of action throughout the map, and a lot of rotations, which should be quite interesting.
Definitely. And what do you think? What is maybe the best offlaner to stay as safe as possible on the solo lane?
Well, Artani solved. Wait.
I was thinking about this pick.
Well, there are a bunch of heroes that are usually decent to just sit in the offlane and control the point. We do see Rexer usually brought up as a hero that people will bring on Braxis as just a solid hero. You are able to push the lane with Rexer and sit on the point as Misha, which is quite important, which does make sure that your opponent has to choose between the wave and the point, which is quite detrimental to the enemy team usually. Another choice that I see floating around quite often, and not in the competitive games, mind you, because Braxis usually gets banned, let's be honest, which is very unfortunate, but is how it is generally. But in Storm League, I usually see people thinking that Ragnaros can be one strong hero on Braxis. Not even because he is great in the offlane, in the solo lane, but because he is very solid at damage control. And if you are losing the wave, Ragnaros is pretty much the best hero that can deal with those due to his low wave, due to his passive just take over the fort and save it from the Zerg wave.
Yeah, and talking about Ragnaros, he is also potentially can go for another few second save on the structures. He can go into the molten core and grant a few more seconds of not taking any damage from the Zerg wave onto the structure. So another good point when it comes to Ragnaros. But Ragnaros is in general I guess is a hero we will not see for now because I don't know. The blue team not didn't pick Ragnaros so far, and the red team I guess not as well.
Hmm. The other heroes that I usually like looking at on Broxys is, funnily enough, Falstad, because you have that global to try and go and help your offlaner. Just in the foreman, we should expect a lot of mobile heroes like Genji, like some
Oh
kind
yeah.
of a Zeratul, just going up, preventing your opponent's offlaner from playing the game altogether, and just take this point, then go back and take the other point for yourself, and just keep doing that until you are able to get that Zerg wave with enough pressure. So a lot of options available on the table, and we don't see Braxis much, so I'm actually very interested to see how those teams will play it out.
And here we go, ladies and gentlemen. We're just heading into the draft of our game number 2 between Fyrom und Ähre against Chill AF Heroes. And the red team with the first pick, as this was chosen by them after losing game number 1. And I guess they will respond to the picks from the previous game and will ban out maybe Imperius or Maiev. What do you think?
I think you still ban out the ETC. Like, you can't not ban out the ETC after what we have seen previously. I believe that the bans on the side of Farum and Ähre should stay the same, except maybe they will try and trade the Malfurion for the Maiev. The Malfurion for the Cassia on the first pick, because now the first pick is in hands of Chileaf heroes and they can pick one of those two.
Yeah. And then the next question is, of course, what's the blue team now going to ban? Is it again the ban patterns on the healers? And for now, indeed, as in the last game, Anna is banned out. And ladies and gentlemen, you are also in this game able to bet who's going to win this specific match. Just exclamation mark bet A for the team of Fyrom und Ähre, or exclamation mark bet B for the Chill AF Heroes.
Well, you have found a weak point in the draft of Chill AF heroes. You do know that their healer does play two heroes, Malfurion and Anna, and after that, that graph drops a lot. As I've said, it drops from 10 games on the Malfurion to 3 games on the Anduin, and they have played Deckard, which they have not even played previously, so you have found the weak spot. Now, I guess your strategy is to just continue going deeper and deeper into it. You just continue striking at that, or you ban out the Cassia, which is very important and which you have to deny from your opponent as well. I'm guessing this will be a Malfurion first pick, whether Chileaf heroes want it or not, because otherwise it gets taken away, and once again you are left without a healer for your team.
Yeah, definitely, and I agree. Okay. No Malfurion for the for the first pick. Indeed, it is Chromie. Chromie also very nasty on this map, can poke from the outside onto the control points. And yeah, I would say for the blue team it will be again the Imperius for Sergeant Hater. And what do you think? What can the blue team add to that?
ETC is open.
Oh, ETC is open!
We do have Chromie who can clear out the waves very quickly, but we do pick up the EDC and we do pick up the Thrall as our offlane, which is maybe a little bit too early, or is it actually a 4-man Thrall?
We will find out, because Kazim in the latest game shows his skills on Malthael, so maybe Thrall, as you said, could be part of the 4-man, and there we have the Malfurion as we expected for the red team, together with Rexa, one of the best solo laners so far. And I guess Rexa was... Yes?
Let's be honest, Rexa is rather weak. Misha is OP though. We do have our third ban on the side of Farum und Ähre, and we do have no tank picked up on the right side so far, so I'm guessing it will be one of those. Or no, it will be the Malfurion. Oh, sorry, the Murin. Sorry, Murin, not Malfurion. Thrall is actually a character that Chile of Heroes played a lot. They have picked him up 9 times. Chromie is also in their top 5 with 8 picks for Palinka 666. So Chile of Heroes sticking to comfort. We do have Farum the Ähre trying to experiment, trying to take out the heroes of their opponents, which seems to be working at least in regards to game 1. We do have Lim Ming being banned out here. A rather solid hero, although with the Zerg wave clear, does not deal with that too well.
Yes, and talking about clearing, they need heroes to clear the Zerg wave as well, and here we got the Samuro banned out in the first game together with the Gul'dan, so of course Gul'dan with a big wave clear potential with all the spells he is throwing out, but also Samuro could be a potential offlaner against Rexa. He can copy himself multiple times and can annoy Rexa so often.
Remember how I said about Rexer being the offlaners that can hold the point and the wave?
Yeah.
Samuro can probably fight him on that part. You just send a copy on top of the point, fight Misha here, and you fight the Rexer on the wave. And Rexer in general is quite weak when disconnected from Misha, and Misha on her own can hold her own for herself a bit, but she will crumble under the pressure as well. So Samuro might just be the counter pick, although I'm not exactly well versed in the matchup of this, let's be honest, not that often picked hero. We do have Mei, we do have Raynor, and we do have the Stukov on the last pick, finishing up with a almost Zerg character on this very Zerg map, which is quite interesting.
And so far, you guys out there are thinking that the blue team will win this game. We got currently 64% against 36 when it comes to the bet count. And we are starting into map number 2. Braxis hold out the choice of the team of Fyrom and Ähre. And yeah, I guess Thrall will be part of the 4-man on the bottom lane, and Samuro will deal with Rexa, as you already said, against not against, but with Rexa on the top lane.
Well, he will be playing against Rexa, I guess. This shall be quite interesting, and not even just the Samuro matchup, because Thrall and the Foreman is not a thing that we see often. And forgive me, Lord, because I'm about to sin. We might even see Crash Lightning.
Definitely. Red Quest indeed for Thrall when he's entering the Red Quest, and when Mei pops, for example, the trade and will stay safe on a point, but then Thrall got an easy target to start the Red Quest. But we will find out later in this game. We are in, and once again, Fyrom and Ähre against Chill AF Heroes, and to the left side, we got Thrall, played by Chasm, Sergeant Hater on his Imperials again, Rösi on Stukov, Soft Ice on Gul'dan, and TK3 finally on his Samuro.
And on the right side, we have Nightsinger on Misha, Palinka 666 playing as the Chromie, Underdog on the Raynor, Mr. Elinth playing the main, Nightsinger as the Rexer, and Umo on the Malfurion playing for Chill AF Heroes.
Well, and for now you can already see four people for both teams are heading onto the bot lane, and Samuro indeed against Rexa and Misha on the top lane.
Indeed the Crash Lightning, so here goes the first stack. You do need to stack it for a while, but you do get a lot of damage out of it, and once you finish that quest, it actually starts doing a bunch of damage to the enemy heroes. A very popular choice for Aram, exactly because of that reason. But generally people prefer to go for different talents because you can't really stack Crash Lightning in the solo lane. In the Foreman though, a little bit of a different story.
And talking about stacks, we got even more stacks for the blue team. We got the Echoed Corruption for Gul'dan, and for the red team as well. We got a nice trap right here, and Hater has to be careful. Was caught in that sand trap. and even more slow throughout May, but he was able to survive that. And for the red team, we got the Q quest on Chromie. What do you think about that? More the Q quest on that map, or the sand coming up from the sky? I forgot about the
Well,
ability.
let's start with obvious. Usually Chromies pick Q as their level 18 quest, as their level 18 talent, which allows Chromie to Q through people. And I think that Q build should be the choice here. Basically because you are able to poke from a lot of range on top of the objective. Maybe I'm incorrect. I do not play Chromie at all. Please feel free to trash talk me, but you know, a rare cup tier caster for the rare cup seems rather appropriate for me. But I was correct about one thing: a good offlaner should not be able to solo lane, and this is once again apparent as we see that Farum they actually went and taken that early Bruiser camp to put some pressure on Nightsinger, who stats influence that Rex's strategy that I was talking about earlier. We do have a little bit of a brawl in the bottom though.
And Hader needs to be a little bit careful, is a little bit alone and away from the team. But he find a target on Jimmy, and Underdog is under pressure, and 30 HP, but Gul'dan was not able to finish him, just survive that attack. And the blue team into control of both points, so the percentile points are rolling in terms for the blue team.
Under pressure does not mean dead just yet, and here we see that Farum and Ähre actually got a lot out of it. We do see that the foreman is able to pressure out the other foreman and force them off of that point, capturing bottom. And we do see that up top, Samuru not only is a good character to play against Rexer, as you are able to contest both the Misha and the Rexer himself, but you have also taken that camp, which is allowing you to win the wave a lot more effortlessly and is buying you so much more time to just sit on that beacon and continue doing stuff. Meanwhile, Mate died in the bottom, which is rather unfortunate because I forgot to see it.
Yeah, the last Crash Lightning stacks were just a little bit too much for May, and then the final blow came in, so we got the first blood indeed after 3 minutes. And now the big 100% Zerg wave for the blue team is heading into the top lane, and 4 people of the blue team are committing to that as well. We got TK3 with his Amuro even colliding behind the gate and looking for any possible picks.
That's actually quite important. We do have Gul'dan in the bottom defending instead of the Samuro, because let's be honest, Gul'dan's wave clear probably a little bit better, and Samuro is just a lot stronger there, being able to pressure out Polinka 666 on playing this time on a rather immobile carry in the Chromie. So a lot of pressure done by Farum and Ähre, and so far it's just a very perfect macro game by them.
Indeed, they were able to not only take down the wall, but also the healing fountain and deal a
You did not want to go there. That's a quick blow up, and that's going to be a rather swift kill on an unsuspecting carry of Chilean heroes, who are not even able to respond with anything.
That's one of the things that the blue team very likes to play. They like to stay in the bushes after pushing one thing very hard, and then when the enemy team is thinking about, okay, now we can regenerate ourselves, the blue team is like, oh no, we're not finished yet here, boys. Just coming out surprisingly out of the bush and are forcing the next team fight that the enemy team is not coming to, not seeing to come.
And you see how much more scared it makes Chilean heroes. They are now forced to check the bushes while they are moving, which buys extra seconds, extra time for Farum and Ähre to do their dark deeds. We do have both easy camps traded, and we do see that Chilean heroes are going for the Bruce camp, where they will get scouted out by TK3. Of course, Farum and Ähre are a little bit too far to commit, but they can push top lane and even take down this fort, which will be a very solid improvement in their situation all over the map.
Indeed. And we already got the level 9 for the blue team, so they are very close to get their heroic abilities. And with that, the next team fights for the red team will be even more terrifying as for now. Beacons are activating once again, and for now we got the similar picture, and in addition to that, go down on the bot lane. But Rexa is trying to get the Asamura, but TK3 is just like, yeah, what do you want to do?
I mean, as the Raxar, usually in the offlane you lane 2v1 because you have the Raxar and the Misho, but versus the Samuru you're laning 2v3, which is not a winning matchup apparently. We also have Gul'dan in the bot lane, who has just stacks there, clearing out the wave, getting out those stacks. You can stack both on the Misha and the Raxar, which does mean that you're not losing that much in pace. And we do have the ultimates for Furum and Ähre, who can now just take both of those beacons and go in. We do see the Angelic Covenant, we do have the Thunder for Troll, which can be absolutely devastating. And let's see how this will go.
Yeah, they even burning down the top lane. For the Horrify comes out for Gul'dan, and the swipe is banging everyone away from the red team to prevent the death of Sergeant Hater, who felt pretty low but not died in this fight. And the red team now with their level 10 abilities as well, and we already have two levels already. The Slowing Sands by Chromie, who's cheating with the picks, and we have the Avalanche together with the Tranquility, and Bestial Wrath for Rexa this time, together with the Hyperion that just came out to defend the next incoming Zerg wave on the bottom lane.
Well, the Zerg wave is kinda unstoppable at this point, and the fort will fall down easily, although Furum and Ähre aren't looking like they are going for the keep, which is quite interesting to me, because you can definitely at least take down the wall with the amount of Zerg that's remaining. We do have Gul'dan up top, already defended the wave, and is now gonna continue, but we do have a Q on the Mei, and that's a tank down. I repeat, tank down without the ultimate press, no avalanche is coming out from the main, and now another one rides the bus, and we do have the continuation. Misha is now being the one queued, and that's a lot of damage from the side of Furum and Ähre. The silence here pretty much preventing the chase attempt, the re-engage attempt. We do, however, have a W from the Raxar on top of Soft Ice, but Raxar oversteps, eats the spear, and eats the death. Another kill for Furum and Ähre. Just continue pushing in, just continue pressing, because they know they are able to get away with it.
You just cannot let Sergeant Hater and his Imperius get out of your vision and are thinking like, yeah, maybe it's not that important right now. He just can turn around and can spear just like he did it on Rexa. But the combo was just a beauty of hell, and Thrall saw that Mei wants to go behind the wall and throwing out the Sundering, and then a beauty of a spear on Sergeant Hater, and that was just too much for Malfurion to heal back up. We now have the level 13 abilities for the blue team, who didn't lose one hero so far after the 10-minute mark, and they're even now invading the red team camp.
And the only question I have at this point is, when are they actually gonna go for the boss, because you are very much dominating around the map, and I think this has to be a teamfight soon, because we do see Chileyev heroes are looking rather scared, rather lost. You are behind on levels, you do know that the enemy team has done everything that they can do on the map except for the boss, so you go and scout the boss, and they are not here. You have to just go, clean out waves, have a little bit of a water cooler moment, and hope that you will be able to find the talent, and hope that you will be able to find the fight afterwards. But without knowing what your opponent does, it is very scary. It is rather rather weird because you don't know when your opponent might engage, when they might find the fight that they were looking for, and you hate to be in that position. Meanwhile, to lighten the mood a little bit, let me point out a thing from chat, which is an absolute beauty, honestly. Thrall has more stacks than Gul'dan.
Definitely. Yeah, the Crash Lightning quest is usually the quest that needs longer to complete. But yeah, indeed. Gul'dan with 25 stacks and Thrall with already 27 stacks. But 3 more stacks for Thrall and his quest is completed. Gul'dan needs 15 more stacks until
And the
he's
beacons
done.
are up. TK3, look at the positioning of this guy, just sitting behind
My
everyone
God!
else, providing. That's big. That's huge, and that's enough, pretty much, because the fight is won right on, right there. Rexler's dead. The Thunder was it. Lights out. We
Yeah.
did see Mr. Elins trying to get away and actually succeeding at that thanks to some very nice roots from Umo. We did not give enough credit to the guy because his team is having a little bit of a problem, but the roots from Malfurion have been very solid throughout this game, and they might just be one of the things that will pull Chill AF Heroes back into this particular game.
That was indeed the team fight the red team needed to come back into this, but unfortunately they lost his Rexa, and now the beacons are under control of the beacon. We got the 100% win on the Zerg wave heading into the top lane. So does the boss, just taken by the blue team as well, and the red team just are now with back onto the wall and has to defend this top lane. They will potentially lose out on the top keep for sure, but are they able to manage to save the core, because the blue team will get the level 16 talents in just a few seconds. And look at the boss, he's just firing all over the place.
I'll be honest, if Chile AF Heroes manage to defend this, I will be, first of all, I will be rather surprised, and second of all, I will be very impressed, because you do have the entire wave, you do have the entire boss, and you do have the entire enemy team with level 16 who are now engaging in the Horrify connects on the Chromie, who presses timeout and will get 5 more seconds of living, but not much longer, because she is in the enemy team after all. We do see Kazim going far into the core, just trying to look for an opportunity, and we do have the series closed out. I'm pretty sure that was under an hour of game time.
Yeah.
Definitely under half an hour. No, definitely under an hour. Probably under half an hour as well. That was a slaughter.
That was definitely a slaughter. The first game a
and
bit
you
closer.
Hate to go out like that if you are a number one team from your division who has been stomping through everything that you have seen so far, and you're just crushed.
Yeah, definitely. The first game in this series was just a little bit closer, but here in the second game, the blue team, Firom and Ähre, were just too dominant. Didn't lose a single hero in these 13 minutes, and were just slaughtering them away. 6 kills only, and we got Thrall after he completed the red quest with 41,000 hero damage, and Chromie with the hope to poke with only 28k. So yeah, solo lane was won by Samuro against Rexa. So for everyone else out there,
And
Samuro
once again, you do not let a good solo laner to play in the solo lane. You make it an off lane. We did see the 4-man rotation. We did see the early camp, and the pressure that Farum and Ähre were able to put out on the Rexer just did not allow Chile F Heroes to execute their plan. Their plan has crumbled. They were not able to have the solid offlaners that they needed. They were not able to even win the 4-man, which was even more disturbing, which was even more disgusting to watch, and which was even more crushing in the end result.
So congratulations to Firom and Ähre. They made it and they secured their place in the grand final of this Rare Cup. What's coming up after the next series, but The next series so far is another match in the semifinals to know whose team is going to play themselves next to the winner of the first series right here, and the next fight will be the Blackhearts Booty Call against the winner of the last match of the
Black Hat's Booty Call are playing against Mighty Minion Army, and
thanks.
that's definitely a match I would be very excited to watch.
Yeah, definitely. We got the fourth place of Division 6 against the second place of Division 7. And we, both of us, watched those games today they already played, and both teams had such insane comebacks and had long games and pretty nice combos. So, as you already said, we are definitely looking forward for this particular